go. Now I can go live. Awesome. So, hey there, fellow travelers, fellow patrons, members, everybody that's here. I appreciate you being on. I know it's a different channel than usual. Usually we're on the Walter's World channel, but I thought we'd get some publicity for our Destinations Location channel as well. Yes, and I'm tired because we actually went and ate and got to see people yesterday for the first time in a while. So, so adjusting to little sleep and socialization again. It's like, oh, conversations. They're not as easy as they used to be. But they're coming back. So good to see everybody on here. Hey, Mark Finley, good to see you. Andrew, nice to see you as well. The gals are back. They're going to be live tomorrow night, I believe, right, gals? I'm glad you're all doing well as well. Jennifer Benzie, good to see you too. Thank you for all the tweets and everything. Baggy T, good to see you. Man, I can feel my tiredness. Ugh. My nose itchiness. Ugh. Yeah, so I've got my Illinois gear because that's where I went, and they're one seed. So as long as they're in, I can enjoy some sports pride. Though they have some other good teams here at our university. So Eric Zvard, hey, good to see you. Yeah, it's been a week or two. For those of you who don't know, we were supposed to go to Hawaii this week. We should have been back like last night, late, but we had one of us tested positive for COVID, and the rest of us tested negative. And then it was Liam, and he tested negative multiple times afterwards. But it doesn't matter. Once you have one, they put you in the quarantine. So we got our call yesterday that we were free again to be part of the world. That we had multiple tests, we were negative, so that was good. But yeah, it was kind of sad we didn't get to go to Hawaii. I know Mark Finley was there, and the Finleys had a good time. They had a good time. They had a good time when they were there, it looked like. So I'm glad to hear that. Oh, so if you haven't subscribed to Destination Location, what Destination Location is, for those of you that don't know, is it's me taking all this B-roll we have from all our travels over the years and putting together, short videos, and they're not actually short, like 10 minutes, 6 to 12 minute long videos of just the B-roll. And it just shows, B-roll is the background. So it's just people walking down the street or random videos from museums and stuff like that, just to give you a feel of travel, because we're not traveling right now, right? So I was like, hey, you know what, let's put this out there so we can remember what it was like to travel. So I put a couple of videos out on Walter's World, because actually there was a number of people that actually asked for it. Like, yeah, could you do that? Could you do that? Like, okay, sure. And we put one out on Shetland Island ponies and another one, and they went nowhere. Like, nobody watched it. I'm like, probably not for Walter's World, because Walter's World is more, you watch it to learn about where you're going to go travel. So we decided to make a new channel, Destination Location, that only focuses on that. And those videos on Destination Location will come out every Tuesday and Sunday. Yeah, every Tuesday and Sunday there's a new video. And I already have them planned out through the rest of April, and we have enough to go through, this time next year, even if we don't get to travel. So there'll be plenty of stuff out there if you just want to have, chill out and see the beautiful scenery. Some have music behind it, some are just the sounds. So there is that. Yeah, Baggy T, kids are the least likely to test positive. That's why we were like, there's got to be something wrong, because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't go out, and somehow he tested positive, but none of the rest of us do, especially since he drinks after Jocelyn all the time. I'm like, yeah, so that's why we got tested, and he was negative multiple times, but we still stayed in and did that. Yeah, probably false positive, because it was the NAAT test, the rapid test, which happens more often. So there's that. Hey, Mr. Dan, good to see you. Brian Smith, always a pleasure. Oh, solo with the sick toddler. That's always fun. I remember Liam, he would get sick and he'd throw up and he'd wave his finger at us. No, I don't want your help. Blah. He'd like crawl and blah. Somehow he could crawl, puke, and wave his finger no at us all at the same time. Jennifer Benzie, I love your commentary on the videos. Well, actually, sometimes on Destination Location, you hear just some of the things in the background. I actually have to listen through all the clips because sometimes people are saying inappropriate things in the background, like, oh my God, what the hell is that? I'm like, okay, I don't want to have that on there. So it's pretty funny. Oh, hey, Liz and Derek. Good to see you. Ronnie Dove, always a pleasure. Oh, Ronnie, 15 out, man, dude, get some rest, buddy. Get some rest. Oh, yeah, yeah, I know. And that's the thing is you're gonna have to be debating because there's the. I mean, false positives don't have a lot, but they obviously happen enough. I know it happened to us. Or a false negative. We had a false negative or a false positive because he had both. So it's kind of weird because we got retested again this week. We had this we had what PCR test. That's when we had this week, and we all were negative on that one. So that was good. Hey Ryan, good to see you. No, but I think this is something that you're going to have to think about when you're looking at your trips this summer. The testing and stuff and the backup plans are going to be even more important. I know right now the AstraZeneca shot is not being used in a number of countries in Europe. The UK is still doing it, but a lot of them have actually stopped using it because they're doing stuff because of thrombosis, like blood clots. So they've kind of stopped that. So that's put a hamper on the European rollout for vaccinations, which means probably what you're going to see is pushbacks in when you can go to Europe. I'm not super confident about Europe this summer now. I thought end of summer, sure, no problem. But now with this pushback, even if it's only 2 or 3 weeks, can have a pretty big impact with the vaccinations. So I've kind of switched to U.S., Central America, Caribbean trips for the rest of through until fall. In fall, I think once these things go, because my friends that are in Italy are saying they're telling them everybody will be vaccinated by July. But that was before the AstraZeneca shot got taken off the market for a while. So we'll see what happens because, I mean, we'll just see what happens. So I do think, but the fall though there'll be enough vaccinations going around, and the vaccination passports or proof of vaccinations. I think those things will start coming because. Yeah, 2 years without the tourism industry, there's just that's too much decimation to the economy for some countries. So you're going to see some places really push for it. I know there's talk Greece is really going to be pushing to get the British tourists to come this summer. So there'll probably be different plans for different countries. So if things do open up, don't expect to do your 10-country European tour. Maybe one country. Just focus on one country and do that. Will be your best bet. So, Gallivanting Gals, this is a really good question. Mark, what are your plans for this year? We are struggling with making plans, thinking Iceland and Scotland, but afraid to plan that yet. Yeah, that's the thing is not really sure when things will actually open up, and because we can talk about it, but that's why they can never really tell us anything. Because places like Illinois, we're almost at phase 5, which is like everything's fully open again because we're doing really well with our vaccinations and the numbers are coming down, but other places aren't. And I think what you're going to see. Right now, I'm looking at places that have been open basically the whole time for Americans because they've been open the whole time and we're getting better with our vaccinations. They're not going to cut us off, right? And so I'm looking at places like Costa Rica, like Mexico, that you've been able to go to the entire time, or basically the entire time. Yeah, you still have to test and stuff like that, which I'm okay with. I mean, even though we got false positives, but it was nice to have something. And I think that's one thing. Like CNN has a good thing that keeps track of where we can go and what the restrictions are, and that's what you look and see. Those have been kind of like, okay, Americans, you can come for a while because if they've been going since things were really bad, I don't think they're going to close now because they know, especially ones that are more tourism based things. I know for us. We're going down to the Savannah area. We're going to hit, hopefully we'll hit Nashville. I'm not sure. We'll hopefully at least get through. We'll probably at least spend one night in Nashville. So gals, we'll see if we can do so or not. But, we love you anyway. Whatever happens, we still love you. But we've got Savannah. Then we're going to go up to North Carolina to see a friend of Jocelyn's and do that. We've got, I'm waiting because we're moving. For those who didn't know, we're moving. We're still in the area, but we don't know the date we get the new house. So once we get to the day of the new house, then we can plan a trip because we're thinking of going to Cabo in Mexico and film there. It's a really big vacation destination we haven't been to in Mexico, and Liam really wants to get back to Mexico, so we thought we'd go there for his birthday. But we don't know when. For his birthday, but might not be on his. It probably won't be on his birthday, but we're trying to figure that out. And then for the summer. We've got 2 trips planned for the U.S. One's West Coast, one's East Coast. And then from the fall, I have rough plans. I'm gonna take a loss on the flights. In term, not a loss on the flights, but I'm gonna pay out for the flights because I'm tired of getting the credits and stuff because I've got so many. But not all of us have it, so I was like to use credits to start doing stuff in the fall once things open up again. So there's that because I know there's a lot of places that are going to have deals, but then some places aren't going to have deals once people start traveling again because, we got people are going to buy anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see what the flight deals are. But there will be that. So Andrew S. Lots of places are going to start dropping proof of vaccine. Yeah. I think you're going to have a transition. I think it's going to be proof of negative tests will be going there. Then it'll be proof of negative test even if you have the vaccination. And then it's like then it'll be like if you don't have the vaccine, you still have to do the proof test. But if you have the vaccine, it's a certain vaccine because different places accept different vaccinations. Then it'll be like, oh, you can come. So a lot of it will depend on where you're going and how much they want tourism. So that's where you have to think about it. So Jennifer Benzie, we got our first vaccine, AstraZeneca, was good, but they were talking about a COVID passport, which is if you've been jabbed, you can go around Europe. Yeah, there's the green. I think the green pass is one of the things they were going to call it. Basically, just proof you have the vaccine, and then you can go do stuff. And then that leads to a lot of other issues in terms of who's been able to get the vaccine and why are they the ones that get to go back to real life and where other people haven't got the chance to get the vaccine yet. So there's a lot going on. It's not an easy thing to think about. I do not envy the position that politicians are in right now to figure out is who gets when, what, where, why, how do we open up. So that is kind of tough. Let's see. Yeah, Eric Svart. Yeah, will probably only be European Union with Switzerland and Norway included. Yeah. I think Europe will be probably for Europeans this summer again. Well, actually, it depends if they start getting vaccinations again, because the European Union is really behind versus the U.S. or the U.K. or Israel in terms of vaccinations. So I think if once they get that going, then things may change, because it could be that things are changing. You can travel in August, but that's a big vacation month for Europe. So I don't know. I mean, there's the political game that people play, but there's also the economic reality that's out there that U.S. tourists do spend significantly more money on their travels than other places. So having American tourists coming to France who are going to spend double what someone from Spain would spend. I'm not just giving an example, and I'm not saying that's the thing, but you start seeing these things like that's a lot of money that they'd be throwing away. That I could see people fighting over the U.S. tourists to come back just because of the amount of money. Because if you look at it, when people are traveling farther, they're willing to spend more money. Because I'm going to fly 8 hours to go someplace, I'm going to make sure I get everything out of this. Where if I'm only flying an hour and a half, I don't need to go to the museums. That's close enough. I can visit again. It's just a different mental kind of thing. That's why when Europeans come to the U.S., they spend more money than when they're traveling Europe, and Americans spend way more money when they're in Europe versus when they're in the U.S. It's the old why do you buy nicer oranges when you're away from Florida? Well, because with transportation costs, the nicer oranges price is close to the crappy oranges price, so I might as well buy the nice oranges. Whereas when there's no transportation costs, the cheap oranges are really, really cheap, but the expensive ones are still expensive. That's why when you're in Florida, you buy the cheaper ones. So e-credit. So Mark Finley. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Derek. Turkey has been open to Americans. If you look at my buddy Gabriel Traveler, he did a bunch of stuff there. And if you look at, in general, if you look at international bloggers and travel bloggers right now, you'll see what countries are open. You'll see videos from Georgia, Turkey, Croatia. Those have been open. Mexico, because that's where they can go. I mean, these people, that's how people make a living. I have a day job. I work, and so I'm not as like I have to travel. I mean, we're traveling around the U.S., but they're going where they can go because they need to have the content to put out there because this is their living. So they're out there. Yeah, Turkey was one. We were supposed to be in Istanbul last year. Obviously got canceled, so that sucks. Means to travel is I haven't had to deal with e-credits, thankfully. Can you not transfer them to a different person, or if not, do the airlines refund you? No. Here's the thing: e-credit it's e-credit for a certain amount of time. Usually, you only get the e-credit for 12 months after the purchase of the ticket. But now with all the pandemic stuff, Delta, another airline's gone until 2022, till like September, December of 2022 to use that credit, and you cannot transfer it to another person. For example, we had to cancel our Hawaii trip, so I have 4 different credits for each of us, and I'm like, how do I use it for each of the different people? Because I have to sign in, and the lady at Delta told me, she's like, look, if you want to use everybody's credit at the same time, call us and book with us because we can get those easier than you trying to do it. Because when Johnson and I flew to Las Vegas, I used up my Delta credit. I used my Delta credit, but I can only use it for my ticket. And so we had that, so we ended up just paying for her ticket. So something to think about. So I understand Canada says everyone will be able to have their first shot by the end of April or end of June. Yeah, I know. Right now they're talking about from April 12th in Illinois. Anybody can get it that will be able to get in line. It's just getting the appointments to get it is the tough part. I'm waiting to find out about getting my second jab, and finding information out about how I sign up for my second jab is frustratingly hard to come by. So that is that. Let's see. Gallivanting Gals, we thought about Hawaii as well, but it looks like it's super crowded because it's the most exotic place Americans can go and feel safe. Hawaii is getting more and more popular. I know the Finleys were saying that when they talked to people in Honolulu, they were there as like the busiest day the airport had been in a year. So I mean, you're going to see is people this year. Last year, people were too scared to travel. I was scared to travel, right? But now people aren't scared to travel now. They're like, I want to go someplace. We can do something. So it's going to be the place that we can go. That's where we're going to go. And it's going to be Hawaii. You're going to see a lot of people going to Florida. I mean, look at spring break. Florida, Alabama, Texas. They're just getting packed with people because it's like, hey, we can travel again. I want to travel. I want to get out. And these places I can go to get to the beach and do stuff. So you will see it. You will see those places being very popular. I know for the next few weeks, I'm doing a bunch of random videos because I'm trying out my new editors, so usually, pretty much all of my videos, what it's been for years, is I was doing everything. I'd film the whole thing, I'd cut it down, then I put the B-roll and put the wording in, all those things. Then about 2 years ago, I hired a company that I send them the me talking file, like the 20 minutes of me talking, and they cut it, all my ums, uhs, screwed up part, they would cut it down to that 12 to 14 minutes, and then I would put the text and the B-roll on. And that takes hours. I mean, anyone that's done editing knows how long it takes to do all that. And I don't know, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I'm like, it's just too much time. I just don't have enough time in the days anymore. So I was talking to my editors. I'm like, hey, could we try out maybe y'all put in some of the text for me in the background pictures? And so we're trying it out. Today's video was a video that my editor they put together for me. I sent them a list of I sent them here's what I say, here's the wording I want, the timestamp where I want it in, and then I described in the B-roll I want in these spots. Could you put this B-roll in here? And it does take time to do that, but we're working together. So like the next probably 4 to 6 weeks, the videos that we're gonna be out there are gonna be very not different, but they're not gonna be like I'm not gonna have the mistakes of Paris or the don'ts of France. Because I want to feel comfortable with my editors about what they're doing. So you'll see the Uruguay videos that came out recently this week and last week, the Slovenia video that came out today, and there's more Slovenia that'll be coming out. There's going to be I gave them some of the old videos because I had videos from Avignon, France, and Nice and Ottawa, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I didn't do B-roll back then. I just had some pictures. Can you do something with this? And so we tried that, and I let them do a couple Avignon videos, and it was so funny because they put drone footage in, and I'm like, no, not drone footage. But the video's so old, but the content's still right on. That's one thing is looking at my videos. I do have to say is the advice that I give is good. Even years later, that still helps. That's the thing is nice about European travel is not a lot of things change. So the content can help for a long time. So there will be a couple avion videos coming out that actually do have some drone footage, but I'm gonna, because what'll happen is when they send it back to me, then I make some more edits myself and put some things in there. I might add a little bit more in, but we're working on that just to save some time, because it really, I mean, it was funny. We're cleaning out the house, and it's just like, well, I got to make more videos. I got to go do this, and like, and it's taking longer and longer. So I'm trying to get better videos out there to help, because the travel video industry, whether you ask the gals or anybody that does travel videos, I mean, they've been destroyed. People are down 60%, 55% year over year, because of COVID, and things aren't really. I mean, we've come back a little bit, but we're still like 50% of where we were before, versus when we were down like 75%. But there's only like one or two channels that are doing gangbusters, really, and the rest are like everybody's kind of like floundering around. And I can really see the last week, video viewership is completely tanked. It's like people are getting excited to travel again. So like the beginning of March, end of February, beginning of March, was like, whoa, yeah, people are watching all kinds of videos. But then the last week or so, especially this last week, it's like somebody took the air out of their sails. So we'll see what happens. Jennifer, no, I most of the B-roll I take with my phone. Actually, I use a Sony Alpha 6000 to when I put the tripod up and you see me just talking to the camera. That's at a much nicer camera. When I'm just walking around doing B-roll, most of it is just this, because it does a nice job. And I'll take like an 8 to 10 second clip, and so I can cut the beginning and end off and put it in there. So there is that. Yeah, Derek, Illinois is open on the 12th of April for everybody. Let's see. And every state, for those that aren't in the U.S., every state's got a different ways how they're going to be opening up. Liz, I'm glad you like the video, the Uruguay videos in Slovenia. So I have the Dunce of Ljubljana today. On Wednesday, I think will be the Love and Hates of Avignon. And then next Saturday will be the Shocks of Slovenia. So and then I think after that will be what to know before you go to Uruguay video. So got some different things, and you're going to see the videos that are coming up are going to be from not main cities. They're going to be from different cities you might not have thought about going to, or countries you might not have thought of going to, but you should, because Uruguay is worth visiting. Slovenia is gorgeous. You're going to see some of the most pretty B-roll in the Shocks of Slovenia video, especially the end part. It gets really, really. That's where we're talking about Lake Bled and stuff. Gallivanting Gals. Mark, isn't it funny? We have 3 cameras and find ourselves grabbing our phone often still. It's just too easy. It's true. It is too easy to do, but it is what it is, And I think that's one thing that you don't realize is a lot of times you can just walk around with this. I mean, that's the thing is now with the cameras, they do the HD 4K stuff, and I can put I have a 500 gigabyte mini chip 256 in the back of this. I can take a lot of pictures, a lot of stuff on there, and it's not going to eat anything up. Actually, no, it's 500. It's 500 because I just switched stuff over. And you can get so much stuff on there. But the question is you make sure you don't crack back here and you don't, smudge it or get anything. Jocelyn has it's like someone went on her thing and it got between the lens and stuff. Oh, sucks. Yeah, Mark Finley, I use my phone for 99% of it. Yeah, Kim, Slovenia is beautiful. So, yeah, but it's been an interesting time. So over the next, few weeks, when you're watching the videos, please do like and share and everything. But if you watch and see if there's things you like I'm having them put in maps now, so people can see where the place is, and we're trying different kinds of maps on there to see what works, what doesn't work. Because a lot of people's I don't know where this place is, I don't know where this country is, I don't know where the city is. So we're trying to put some of those things to make it a bit easier. Trying to do more B-roll. I signed up now. The editors, so I'm still sending them a ton of my B-roll, but I'm like, hey, but if occasionally if you find some B-roll online that's in stock stuff that we could use some of that now, because I'm giving them a bunch of older videos and stuff that I didn't have video for. There's only a little video. Or when I filmed, I wasn't doing HD, and if you're not filming in HD, Google does not like you, or YouTube doesn't like you. So there is that. Yeah, gimbals are a game changer, but we still forget to grab most of the time. Yeah, I agree. I've had the gimbal. I've had multiple gimbals, and I've only used one. I never used because it sucked. The one I have now, I've only used it. I've used it like 3 times, and 3 times before I went to Vegas. When I was in Vegas, we used it for our walking tour kind of stuff. Yeah, DJI. No, I don't have the DJI Pocket. No, I have that one DJI that we talked about, Mark. Yeah, the stabilization, the GoPro 9. I just had such a bad experience with my GoPro 3 that I'm still like, ugh, I don't want to deal with you. But I know like our friends, Tanya and Dave from Turn It Up World, they use their GoPro all the time, do a really nice job. But my hope is by having my editors run the videos for a few weeks, and I'm gonna do an experiment because I want to get all these things uploaded and let them just sit like they'll be scheduled to release. And apparently that's actually not supposed to be good. That's going to hurt the views on them. But I want to kind of just try it out and see, because if I can get 4 weeks of videos already uploaded, already out there, and then I can like take a break from the editing stuff, and then maybe learn about doing other things. And we're working on a travel planning class for like not master class, but something like that. For travel planning. It won't be like an on location thing. It'll be like us talking and going through stuff with everybody. A much longer version of our videos where we're actually sitting down. Because when I film in public, when you're filming in public, you're always like, oh, people are going to come by. I got to look. I'm distracted. This one is more like, hey, we're sitting down talking to you. Kind of like these live kind of things. And we're going to go through a lot of stuff, from all kinds of stuff. But it's, the class is huge, and I'm like, this is too much information for something that wouldn't be like on YouTube, because it would be a whole different pay thing and class kind of thing. So really, really tough. Oh, Brian Smith, one of the earliest videos I used was on Rouen. Yeah, Rouen was nice. That was a nice one. But that was a beautiful town. Ever get a chance to go Rouen? It's by Normandy, or Normandy area. It is Normandy area of France. It's like an hour and a half from Paris. Well worth it. Well worth it. Let's see, means to travel. If Europe opened up to us in autumn, is there a place you go first? For me, it might be Paris. Yeah, Paris would be very high on the list. I'm gonna guess if things open up in the fall, I'll probably end up going to Germany with my mom, or France with my mom, because we were supposed to go last year for a like genealogy kind of thing. So that's where I'm gonna guess we'll end up going. But if it was Giles and I, yeah, we'd probably go to Paris. But there's our buddies in Vicenza. We want to go to Italy to see them, but their wedding got postponed another year, which actually kind of corresponds okay, because I think when their wedding's going to be, I'll be teaching in Vicenza right before that. There's like a week in between, so I can see that, because if you've been married, it's like the week before the wedding is just insane, but like 2 or 3 weeks before the wedding aren't quite as insane, so you actually enjoy people. So like I'll be there to enjoy them, and then leave them alone for that week when they're like, oh my God, the wedding's next week. And like we can have an Airbnb and be out of the way. So it'll be interesting. Jennifer asks, what type of phones do you have? I went back to old videos of the kids from our old phones, and we're like an alien encounter videos. Yeah, with the lines and stuff. Yeah. I have an Android. I have a Galaxy S. I think this is S10. Jocelyn has an S10. Caleb has an iPhone 10. So we have those. Probably will be getting a new phone. Jocelyn needs to get a new phone because her pictures and video are worthless because of the cracks and stuff. So we need to get that taken care of. But yeah. Oh, morning, Josh. Yeah, sorry, I'm not super energetic this morning. Usually I have more energy, but like yesterday we went to this place called Bayernstube, which is a German restaurant north of us, and they had the owners sold to their kids, and their kids like reinvigorated the restaurant. Like the food is better than it's ever been. I mean, honestly, I've been going to this place since I was in college. No, actually before that, because we would come with my mom, because she worked at the university. She would come once or twice a week, and sometimes I'd come with her in the summer, and we go eat up there. So I've been eating that place probably since the 80s. And seriously, we had Hassenpfeffer yesterday, that rabbit, and this elk steak, and a wild boar schnitzel. Oh my God, it was amazing. So I had that, of course, so, a couple liters of beer. And then we came back, and since I'm starting my vaccination. Our two friends, they were here. They've both been fully vaccinated with their all already gone through. So we had a social distance get together, and had drinks, and we're chatting, and yeah, it was nice, and it went kind of late. So the energy level not quite there. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, Liz, I was relieved too because I didn't know, and when I actually talked to him when Italy canceled or paused using the AstraZeneca shot, I wrote him like, hey, what's going on? He's like, yeah, we're postponing. There's no way it's going to happen. I'm like, all right. So we have that. So something to look forward to for next year. Yeah, I think next summer is going to be. Because we've lost some friends this year, not to COVID, but just life. And I think next year we're gonna do a bigger see friends trip. So we'll be going to some place we've had videos before, but we're gonna make a point to see friends. So I'm gonna guess we'll be back in Italy. We'll be probably end up going to the Madeira Islands out in the middle from Portugal. Probably Spain to see friends there. UK. Finland, Lithuania. So we'll get some new places too, but it's like I want to see the friends because after not seeing friends for so long, it's one of those things you really want to do. So Derek asks, curious on your approach to budgeting planning, Mark. Do you start out with a budget, then pick places to go to fit the budget, or pick places then make the budget work? We pick places and then make the budget work. So what we'll do is we'll kind of look at places we're interested in going, and I'll actually kind of map out some of the places to go see and figure out where we want to go, and then we'll look for places to stay that fit our budget, and do that. So we're never going huge, expensive places or for hotels. For example, we're looking at a early winter trip to Switzerland and Austria. I know Switzerland is stupid expensive, so when I'm planning this trip, because the kids will be in school, so it's 10 days if we can get them out of school kind of stuff. So we got 10 days. We'll fly into Switzerland, fly out of Austria, and it's going to be a 3-7. Because I'm I can't. It's just the price, because that extra day in Switzerland will cost 3 days in Austria. So sometimes I'll do that. Let's see. Travel next week, yeah. Love that Mexican restaurant that your friends run in Champagne, El Patio. Yeah, I do enjoy them. They're wonderful people too. So I might stop by there later today. Kim, I like the idea of a travel planning course. Yeah. So the thing is that the travel planning course that we're putting together, really, it's the company I'm doing it with, they usually have 90-minute classes for this. But I'm when we went through it, I'm this is 5 90-minute classes. This is a lot more work than your other videos. And how their thing was set up, it's oh, well, you just film the basics and we do all the editing and we split 50-50. I'm well, this is a lot of work on my part and you're just editing. And I'm that is not worth it for me. And they're well, if you edit your own videos and it's a 90-10 split. I'm oh, so you're hosting. I'm cool with that. So I'm going to use my editors to edit my stuff, so it'll be different than theirs. But they're cinematography. It's gorgeous. But I'm it's the amount of work it is for it. I don't know. I also need to ask some more questions about control of the content, and because I'm look, if I do all these videos and your book, the courses don't sell, I'd rather just you put the videos on YouTube and do that eventually. But I have to see, how does it copyright? What's it for? So, but we'll see. Because I might just do the course and put it on our thing and then write a book to go along with it. So, yes, Brig is here. He was just there. He's staring at me why aren't you letting me go to the bathroom? Because you've already gone out twice, you spoiled brat dog. Who's a spoiled brat dog? Look, here's spoiled brat dog. Come here, Brig. Can you say hi, Brig? See? Spoiled brat dog. Yes, spoiled brat dog. Who has started to drool a lot more than usual lately. Just dripping on stuff. It's amazing. Yes, Brig. They know you're here. Let's see. Any tips on 2-month travel for an Australian summer? Would you pack light and wash clothes yourself? Thinking of also roading my van so I don't have to pay any tax for those 2 months. So are you talking about? Hold on, I want to put him out there. So hold on one second. Put it out there. We're gonna talk about that. So if you're talking about going to Australia in Australian summer, uh, yeah, just pack light. I mean, it's hot, but so have your layers. But yeah, I would pack light and wash clothes. I mean, I do that no matter where I go. I mean, it's usually maybe three bottoms, three or four tops, like five pairs of underwear, and I'm done. And three or four pairs of socks. And I'll wash sinks. I'll wash fine laundromats, stuff like that, and do my own laundry because it's not worth it to carry that much more stuff because that's less room you had to bring stuff back, especially if you're going to someplace you haven't been before. We usually find more souvenirs because like I've never been here, so I want to buy that. So I do, and especially if it's a 2-month trip, yeah, pack light just because you can always buy stuff when you're there too. And that's the thing is Australia has more varied sizes. I find sometimes when I travel, I can't get clothes my size. Australia's a place where I'm not really worried about finding clothes my size because they have people my size. So let's see what's up. Let's see. Oh, Franklin, I hope you're feeling better, buddy. Aw, Franklin, I hope you're doing good, buddy. Sorry you're not feeling too hot. Don't get daddy too sick, okay? Let's love our Briggs sides. Yeah, he'll be barking here in a sec because he only goes outside for like 20 seconds. Then he's like, mwah, mwah, mwah. No, that's Franklin blowing the kisses. See, look, he's already barking because he's got that age now that he's like he's turned to a middle-aged grumpy old dog. Not grumpy, but like get off my lawn, like anybody now, or anybody that's like is anywhere near his lawn. Like he used to never bark in the back at random people. Like I'm looking, there's nobody here. He's barking at like somebody 2 streets over that way. Because from our backyard, you can see a couple streets down. And I'm like, dude, what are you even looking at? Oh, Eric says the towel trick. After seeing your wife's towel trick where she squeezes the clothes, I have packed at a fourth of what I normally pack on trips. It's true. So you put your clothes, you wash your clothes in the sink, and then you put it in a towel and you roll it up and wring it, and it really sucks out so much of the moisture. ShamWow, do with that if you have smaller, more delicate pieces. But yeah, even the hotel towels, it is a lifesaver. So there is that. Yeah, yeah. Melinda said, Mark, the struggle is real. I know how that feels when traveling. It's easy for Trace everywhere, but not so much for me. I always have to make sure I have extra pack because I don't find my size. Yeah, I mean, the only time when I've traveled, I actually found stuff my size was when I was in Sweden. Because not because there's some my size, but there's a lot of tall people, so like the big and tall stores. So I can get tops, bottoms. I'd have to like roll up a few times, but I could at least get something. I know when I was in Portugal, I mean I was skinny, I was less. I was probably 100 pounds less than I am now, or 75 pounds less than I am now when I lived in Portugal, and I would get like the XL shirt there. I mean I was skinny, like I was not, and even that was like that really European skinny XL. I'm like, this is more like a medium, not an XL, but whatever. Yeah, Eric B, you definitely not a big fan of big folks for their clothes. Yeah, that's true. Australia is much more reasonable. I agree. So Derek points out we bought a very compactable duffel when we were in the UK to bring back a bunch of stuff we bought there. Now we can take it with us, have an extra check bag going on. Yeah, so Jocelyn has I can't think of it. Hey, babe, what's that bag? You have those bags that fold up? What are those called? Oh, she's asleep. If I was going to say. We have a bunch of them. Because they fold up like this small, but they get like this big. And so we always take those with us just in case. Eric, right now on an eternal walk with the dog. Yeah, so my dog, now that the weather's finally nice again, we can do longer walks, but we were doing like 2 hours of walking a day, just get out of the house for a while there. Um, yeah, finding pants the right length is always tough. Yeah, Nick, you're Nick, you would be okay. Norway, Denmark, and Sweden, and Serbia, and Croatia, you'd be okay finding clothes because you're there's a lot of tall people there. Um, Mark, I sit on a tailbone pillow. On this trip, I had to ask for a seatbelt extension for the plane. Not fun. Time to lose weight. You're not big, dude. That's just because you're tall and you sat on that pillow that pushes you out farther. So don't feel bad. You look great, my friend. Um, let's see. What else can I tell you about? I don't really have. There's not really much crazy stuff going on, outside the craziness of the world. Um, okay, so Eric's asking Rwanda, what airline airport did you use? You do not fly direct from the U.S. to Rwanda. There was no direct flights at the time. We flew from Amsterdam down to Kigali. There's a direct flight with them. If you're in the Delta code share, Rwanda KLM is your connector flight to Rwanda directly. That's going to be the one you're going to use. There are other airlines that fly from Europe and the Middle East that go there, and from other places in Africa, but from the U.S. there were no direct flights when we were going. It was all connector through KLM. So do that. Travel with Nick P. When you find all those all peanut butter cups, hope you make a video with Liam. Yes. So those who know, my Professor Christmas channel is just my fun, silly channel. I'll do videos with Liam and other stuff. And so we did a video this week on comparing all the holiday types of Reese's peanut butter cups. So if you look up Professor Christmas, you'll see a picture of me with a Christmas hat on, Santa Claus hat on, and you can see the video there. Yes, Danes are stupid tall, Nick. Stupid tall. Like stupid tall. Oh, yeah, thanks, Eric. Yeah, so please do hit like. I do appreciate it. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, do hit that subscribe button for destination location. Hold on, I'm going to get Brig real quick. Come on, Brig. See, one thing about Brig, so I'll go take him for a walk. And it doesn't matter, Eric, I mean, you're walking your dog forever now. I'll walk Brig for an hour sometimes and come back, and he's like, run, like dead sprints in the house to get his ball and play. And I'm like, dude, we just did a 2-hour walk or an hour and a half walk or an hour walk. And he's like, I don't care, the ball's here, let's do it. So, of course, he always wants to do that when it's like totally wet and messy outside and he's all nasty. I'm like trying to get him to his climb so he can get his paws cleaned up. He starts running around the house looking for stuff. Good times. Good times. So, it's like with your kids. Brig, climb. So, let's see. What are some other things we can talk about? So, I had some things I want to talk about today, but my brain is not working. Oh, so with the destination location channel, so what I think I'm going to do, not just putting the B-roll stuff, I think I might put some of the shorter little things on there as well. Like you try to test out YouTube shorts, because I've seen on the bigger Walter's World channel, I can't test things out as much, because it's basically, if I put something about Europe, it'll do well. If I put anything about any other part of the world, it doesn't do as well. So the U.S. stuff's doing okay now, but it's interesting. So when I try out the destination location, when I did that video on Eric, I get my ways from my Polish ancestry. That's funny. That's funny. So what I was going to do is use the destination location as kind of a testing channel as well, so that I can actually learn more from this. So I'm basically going to spend the next 4 to 6 weeks kind of redeveloping stuff for this channel, but for Walter's World, to not redevelop, but like new ideas, new things, just to kind of test out and see what's different. Because since people aren't traveling like they used to, I mean, people are still traveling, but it's not like what it was, and it's going to take another year or so things to get back to that way. I'm like, well, let's try some new things up there. So don't worry, I'm not going to start doing like dance videos. No, I'm not. I can't stand the dance videos. Like, I just can't do the dance videos. I'm sure I'll have to do a dance video sometime, but I'm amazed. My YouTube short shelf is always like dance videos, and I'm like, can I get like? Because there are some good dance videos. Don't get me wrong. But there's also some good like helpful videos as well, like shorts. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start putting together some YouTube shorts that I'm going to test on this channel, but also maybe I'll test some on Walter's World as well to see like for a little short like information and helpful tips kind of stuff, and Jocelyn's channel as well.
Over.
Oh, hi, Jocelyn.
Good morning, friends.
I guess she was awake.
I wasn't awake when you left to do this.
What's the name of the...
showered and got ready. Hey, everybody. How are y'all?
What's the name of the bags that we use that that you fold up?
Longchamp?
Longchamp.
La Pliage? Pliage?
Yeah. So...
so Longchamp looks like Longchamp, and it's Lepliage. So, and there's all sorts of sizes. There's like, they have the large shopper, which is, where are my hands? Like maybe like 12, 13, 14 inches wide.
It's like a purse.
Yeah, it's like purse size. And then there are the big, we have the biggest like duffel size one that they make. And I'm going to guess that's about 30 inches wide. But it's still, they all fold down to something very small, very flat. They're great. I absolutely love them. Hey, I see all of you guys saying hello. Hi, Eric, Jennifer, Andrew, Mark, Eric, Derek. I want to ask, hey, Ronnie, Mark, how's April doing? Have we gone through that?
He had said something before. Yeah, she was doing better.
She's doing better. Okay, good. I hope everything's good with her.
So Kim M points out that her mother is small, and so we put her in the middle seat. And so that's what she says, the downside is to be in the middle. Yeah, Jocelyn doesn't sit in the middle. Jocelyn gets her own.
I like the window.
Jocelyn gets the wherever you need to be, babe, seat. So preferably away from the children.
No, I need to sit by Liam. Liam and I do fine. Caleb and I butt heads, and that's no good.
Yes.
That's kind of how it works for us sometimes. Like, put the kids in the middle, parents on the ends if we've got 4 across. And
yeah, we never get to sit too close together.
No.
Except when we go 3 and 1. Sometimes, like, you'll sit next to me, and you'll be like, it's always when you have your turtleneck.
Well, you know I don't like to fly. You guys all know that about me. But Caleb also, I mean, actually both of our kids have had to sit by themselves before on, 4-hour-plus flights. And
yeah, like Liam's like
fine.
6 rows ahead of me, just chatting up the guy next to him. Like, what's up, dude?
Yeah, but then he gets to he's pretty good about not, like, going too crazy. Like, he'll chat, and then he'll chill out and do his video games and whatever. So it's not really that bad. Yeah, but our kids are at a point where we don't really have to do much for them on planes. So. Hi, gals. Hi, Kim. I'm trying to read all your stuff. Oh, Mark Finley gave Terry the window seat and he sat in the middle on the way back from Honolulu. Dang.
Wow.
Oh,
How is that even possible?
You love her. Although the middle and the window don't really give you that much more space. I mean, like it's really immaterial.
I think the window, depending on what it depends on.
Sometimes
the
there's
plane.
that little extra squish of room between So yeah, sometimes it is a good thing. I flew KLM. Lori and I, one of my girlfriends.
Yeah, the Chicago one, right? The Chicago Amsterdam direct flight that had the weird setup where there's like a road next to you. Yeah.
Right. So I had it was at least 12 to 15 inches next to me. So I put that armrest. By the way, you may not know this, but aisle armrests can go up. There's usually a little button back near where it flips at the joint, if you will. So essentially I had an aisle. So I flipped that puppy up and I propped my feet up on the wall and I went to sleep. I know that's terrible. It's passenger shaming.
We flew that quite a few times.
But she and I had gotten, it was a really cheap ticket, and for like $40 more or $50 more, I got
Oh, you got
Comfort,
the
the Comfort Plus version.
Yeah.
So it was just, we had 3 seats.
Darian showed up. See, the spaghetti ice work, people.
Hey, Darian. It really is amazing, isn't it? He just knows.
It's a gift.
That's so funny.
Mr. Derek, I'm a Rolls for extra space. And we do not use packing cubes, nor do we suck up the stuff. Because how do you suck it when you're
No, hold on. I have.
Well, you have.
Okay, so I got a new thing. This is a great thing. I'm going to tell you about it. When we went to Africa, because we were in Europe for a long time and we were in Africa for a long time, we had 4 people. Mark had been there before us because he had students. I mean, it was, for Mark, you were gone for like, what, 10 weeks? The kids and I were gone for about 7 or 8. And because we had to have very different types of clothing for the places we were traveling to, because when we started out, it was still a little chilly in the north, you know, so we needed coats and things and whatever. Anyway, I got this thing called a Pacum, Pacum. I found it, I sponsored it on one of those crowdfunding things, and it's I don't know, maybe 2 inches square and about 4 inches long. And it's this mini little vacuum, and it gets plugged in with a USB cord, and they give you these bags, and you put it on there, and it sucks all the air out, and you have to make sure the zipper on them's done really properly. Don't use their zipper thing. You got to do it by hands, but suck all that air out, and literally, like all of our clothes, on the way over, all of our clothes for Africa went into 2 of these bags that are like 16 inches square. So all 4 of us, because I took Mark's Africa stuff with me and the kids. So I put all of that, I put these 2 things, one in the kids' suitcase, one into mine, and then all of our Europe clothes were on top of that. And then when we left our stuff in Europe to go to Africa, I took our Africa stuff out, put that into one suitcase, and all the Europe stuff I put in those packing bags, and it really squished it down. Those things are awesome. I kind of wish that their bags were like more rectangular than square because they would fit into suitcases better.
Yeah, it does have a weird thing.
Like it doesn't.
It's made for the people that take the full size suitcases.
Right.
Like, you know, the ones that no one uses anymore.
And if I took a full size suitcase, I wouldn't need one of those. But
no.
Anyway, I mean, they actually were fantastic, and so anyway, that's it. That was a good purchase. I'm happy with it. Mm-hmm. We don't have to use it very often because we pack light, but
yeah,
you know. But if you're going somewhere like Iceland and it's, you know, warm during the day and cold at night and you need coats or something, it's easier to just suck the air out.
Mo, good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Mo.
We're hoping to get your way later this year.
I haven't seen him in ages, right?
Well, you're never around. You know, you're off gallivanting.
I was sleeping, gals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
Josh, they couldn't take my leg off with the drink cart because there wasn't an actual aisle. It was just like 15 inches
like a
between.
Pass-through.
No, it's not. It's just between your chair and the wall. Like it's not enough to put another seat in.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but like the sink, you'd think it'd be something that you can like. You're like, I'll just sneak around this way.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but nobody does.
Yeah, no.
It's like the coolest thing ever. I wish I'd paid attention to what kind of plane that was because I want to fly it.
747. It was their combo.
And they
delivery.
Yeah, they do delivery underneath. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. Anyway, my eyes are. I'm tired. See, she looks fantastic, doesn't she? She got less sleep than I did, and she looks amazing.
Yeah, I look so pretty. I did my hair. Can't you tell?
I did my hair. I put it back in a ponytail for y'all. I brushed my beard a little bit. You got me beat there. Yeah. So what else? Yeah. So other things going on.
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So
what's going on with y'all?
Yeah.
Like I feel like we haven't caught up in a really long time.
We had a good Whiskey Wednesday for St. Patrick's Day.
That was fun.
There was a lot of alcohol drank that day. God, Thursday was rough.
Brigadier's here. He says hi.
Hello, everybody.
He's trying to get through to me. He's like, "You're in the way, woman. You're keeping me from my daddy."
question is, how much did you drink last night? I had 2 glasses of wine. Did you?
I thought you were drinking whiskey. Oh, that was just me drinking all the whiskey.
You only had like 2 glasses last night. Really? What is wrong with you? God, I haven't drank in so long, hardly. Except for
this
Wednesday
week,
and
I
last night.
probably drank more this St. Patrick's Day and last night. Is more than I've drank all year. Like those two together.
Oh, in 2020. I mean, we just haven't
2020.
been drinking very much.
Yeah.
No socializing, so no drinking, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Eric, I've had an 80-pound carry-on before. They don't weigh those on major routes. No, they don't. Except sometimes, like...
What did you have in a carry-on that weighed 80? Were you taking
He's
weights?
a professional bowler.
Oh.
No, I don't know. No, he's not. He's a photographer.
It's like, oh, that's
but
good.
I'm going to guess it's probably your photography stuff.
I mean,
And his bowling ball collection.
I feel like I could probably get my carry-ons to not to 80 pounds, but I would definitely pack some hand weights over there or something.
Oh, Derek, Palm Springs is lovely. I think I am now retired. May take up golf. Who knows?
Hey, Derek, they're supposed to have a really cool airport. That's what one of my girlfriends is like. The Palm Springs airport is like the best airport. I don't know. So go check it out. Tell me how you think, because you're like a serious traveler. I'd like to know what you think of it. I am not playing tennis with you with that squeaky ball. No.
So Liz says, what are some of your go-to foods and meals when staying at a vacation rental?
Oh, I did a video on, what is it, like
5 meals with
meals
12 foods.
with like 12 ingredients. So like eggs, yeah, get pancake mix and make pancakes for breakfast, and then make crepes later in the week that with all your leftovers you can put into like crepes to be savory or sweet with the with some berries or fruit. Seriously, give me this ball. No. It's like piercing my eardrums.
Oh, now
Sure,
he's
it's
like,
not fun for you either. No.
so you took my ball. What are you doing? Yeah, he's not happy.
So we'll do like eggs, omelets, things like that. And then I get pasta and make carbonara, because you've got bacon for breakfast in the carbonara. You got the eggs. You got some cheese. So all those things, like it's just like 12 basic things that can make a whole bunch of different meals. Get like some broccoli along with it.
Brig keeps going around and around. I don't have it, Brig. I don't have it. Buddy. No ball.
No ball. He's got that worried dog look with his eyebrows up and his ears perked. Oh shoot, he saw it. So keep away from the dog. Anywho, so what else is on that list? So pancakes, crepes, carbonara, eggs. I throw veggies into a couple of those things or put them on the side and stuff. So anyway.
Brig's digging into my chair.
Eric's dog is reacting to the sound of Brig's ball. Yeah, see, that's why I took it away. And then he heard me say B-A-L-L. Thomas Reiser's going to Springfield.
And Nashville.
And then Nashville. That's cool. Yeah, and Eric's stuff was camera equipment and batteries. So I don't have it. I don't have it. Yeah, so
Brian's thinking about doing a short family trip to Santa Fe. You don't want to have any tips, times to avoid. You'll be fine. It's good. October is when they have the balloon festival, so it gets packed out. There's not really a slow time. There's just a less busy time in Santa Fe because it's popular all year round. Mm-hmm. I have a Don'ts of Santa Fe video. We went there a couple years ago. It's really nice. My parents go once a year, sometimes twice a year, to be there.
This poor dog.
Let's see if he tries to jump again. Oh, it's right here, Brig.
Yeah. So you saw that video. Good. So those are some of our big ones, and then so those are like basic things that you can get in a market anywhere. But
now he's like,
I always try to make something that is local. And we'll go get and when we're in Paris, we'll go get croissants or whatever, and then fill them up with ham and cheese or something, and make sometimes we'll carry lunch. Usually lunch is the big meal that we do out.
Yeah. And we'll do our...
Come here. Come. It's ear piercing. No
So Jennifer, it's crazy. All I'm dreaming about is leaving the city. Even to be able to go to the Shire would be a dream. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is we've been lucky where we are because it hasn't been really bad where we live.
I know. That's why I was holding it like this because it's covered in the slime.
But Brig, we're not married, so you can't do that to me. He's really trying to get the ball. I lost my train of thought because of slime. Hi, Brig.
Oh, Eric needs a food idea for an elegant dessert that is English. The
sticky toffee pudding would be wonderful.
Not really that hard to make.
Trifle.
Trifle is very
and
English.
Jocelyn has a video on making trifle, by the way, on Simply Jocelyn.
And that's like a
Brig,
really easy one. And you can make your own whipped cream. So you just get heavy whipping cream, and put it in a blender and blend it forever, and then add a little sugar and maybe some vanilla. I know, right? I mean, the dog is... I just got out of the shower. I need another one. And then you take, like, ladyfingers or a sponge cake, any kind of nice sponge, and slice it, put it in there with some fruit. And if you can, the night before or earlier in the day, if you can, like, get some berries and put a little sugar on them, then at the bottom of that container, you'll have a lot of juice from the berries, right? And you can kind of drizzle that over the... it'll soak nicely. Mm-hmm. And you can also soak that sponge. You can drizzle like different liquors on it. I know people who do that a lot, but you may not want to do that. But anyway, so yeah. There's your ideas.
Tiffin cake. Let's see. Spotted Dick is another one.
Oh, yeah, Spotted Dick.
Because you have hours of laughs making Spotted Dick.
Yeah, right? That's
how did you go see the doctor before you made that? Oh, I made it, and then I had to go see the doctor because what is this? Let's see.
Dreaming about leaving the city. So, yeah. So I was talking to one of my cousins. She lives here, but her family is Greek and lives in Greece. And her dad has to have a special permit to leave they live in the city, but they have like a small farmhouse and they've got a few animals. And he has to have a permit to leave the city to go feed his animals. And he can only leave at certain times of the day. And yeah, so it's pretty crazy. So yeah, that one.
Derek's saying, just for the record, love the don't be a vegetarian tip in Uruguay. Laughed out loud. It's so true, though. They're like, oh, you don't like meat? What about a chivito, a steak sandwich? There's non-steak stuff with it.
Especially when you're in the country.
Oh, yeah. So true. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That was funny. It's like living in Argentina and then going to Uruguay. I'm like, wow, it's even more meat.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So we're trying to get more viewership and more people onto destination location. Mm-hmm. So one thing I thought about doing is, I don't know, like another half hour or so, open this up to non-members. What do you guys think about that? Because we'll have like an hour and a half of us talking. Then I could post it on some of our social media and bring some other people in just to try to get more, I don't know, eyeballs on this channel, just to try to figure it out. Because it's funny because we didn't get very many views when I did the destination location type videos on Walter's World, but I had so many people that were like, yes, do that. I want that. I want that. So I'm trying to figure out how to bring more people in over here, because a couple of videos are actually starting to get watched. We had one, it's the one with the lion cubs. That one's got like 10,000 views now, so that's gone up, but there's a couple with 1,000, but it's weird. It's starting to like get going because it's only been on. We only started this 6 weeks ago, maybe.
I love Derek's comment. Don't of Uruguay. Don't not drink Tanat wine.
I know.
We all know how we feel about Tanat.
That's not one. I put a little thing in there because I was like, how did I not have that in the don'ts? So I had to put a word, like a little subtext in there of it, like, hey, don't miss it.
Well, I mean, there's Tanat in like every shot of food ever, because I swear to you, I think we had it at breakfast. Like,
we had all.
Kathy and I think one morning we were like, can we have Tanat? It was a little late breakfast. Like, it was more brunch time, and we're like, wine.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, dude, that Tanat is so good.
Oh.
I still haven't found it here though, but we got it from.
We got it from that thing. I found this underground wine cellars, I think is what it's called, and like you pay a certain amount and you get a box of different kinds of wines. And I only did it because they had to not. And it was like, they have different prices all the time. Like I paid $20 for per bottle for 6 bottles. They have it, like you could pay $50 for bottles and whatever. But what's cool about it is you're guaranteed, like if you buy 6 bottles, 2 of them are worth $20. 2 of them will be worth significantly more than that. And then the other 2 will be somewhere in between. It's really cool because then you get to try like different wines. And I don't buy really expensive wines. So I got to try some very expensive wines. Damn this ball.
Here, I'll tell you. I'll put
it outside.
I'll put it in my office. He can squeak it all he wants.
Let him squeak it in your office.
He can squeak it all he wants.
Oh my
Come
gosh.
on, let's go for that. I can help you guys.
Anyway, Mark says he'd be up for it. Might want to make a mod before you open it up to the public. Gals are leaving. See y'all later. Get some stuff done. Yes, everybody buzz into the gals tomorrow night. They've got their live. Is it 6? I don't know.
I thought it was
8? I don't know. I'm very bad. He tells me, and really what happens is Mark has it on and I talk over him and make him make comments for me. That's usually what we do. So Means to Travel says, Liz says, can you put a short teaser for destination location at the end or beginning of Walter's World videos? Yeah, that's a good idea for like a little while. Put some of those,
Yep.
Yeah.
So Kim says, can you cross post? Yes. You can. I can post on the community feed, but the community feed doesn't work as well as it used to.
But you know how you have the little buttons like with my face on it if you want it?
Oh yeah.
Are you doing that with destination location?
No.
Why not?
Because
See, I think
why would anyone click on my face or a Lisbon train when they could click on your face?
Well, then don't put my face there, darling.
But the choices for I can put 2 on. Your face is just so pretty.
No, what I'm saying is just make one that says destination location. And just have a button with like the Lisbon train or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is that? The 24? I don't even remember. I know where to pick it up. What's the name of the train? The trolley, the yellow one that goes up.
28?
The 28. That's it. From
Hop on
Estrella.
there. The thing is it's all there's. I mean, you guys are randomly in the B-roll. I'm not, but you are. So it could be wandering Jocelyn down the street. Ta, ta, ta. Later, Cam. Have a good one.
My husband's crazy.
Yes, the gals are returning, healthy and back at it.
Yes.
Yes, Liz does know marketing. That is true.
Can you pay your way for some growth?
So,
I'm gonna make some tea.
So YouTube will definitely let you pay to advertise your videos, and they'll tell you exactly how many views you're going to get, and you only get those views. So you have to make sure you're doing something that will help inspire people to subscribe or would be right for them. So, for example, I probably will do a targeted ad shot where I will advertise the, Krakow, wandering Krakow video. Sites and Sounds of Krakow. I'll advertise that, but I'll advertise that in Poland because I know Polish people will subscribe to Polish videos very well. And, and you'll see where, like, basically what I'll do is I'll look and see where are the most views coming from for certain videos that I already have, like the Walter Row version, and then I'll advertise for that to get that going. But I haven't done much in terms of promotion with destination and location on Walter's World yet because I just wanted to kind of grow organically and go from there. Because then it's kind of like, let's see what we do. And also, I didn't want to promote it yet because we didn't have a lot of videos. Now I think we have I think we have like 20 videos on there now, and I've got videos scheduled to come out every Tuesday and Sunday through April. They're already uploaded and all there, so it's like, okay, let's just see how things go and go for that.
Do you want tea?
Sure. I would ask, is there a reason you guys aren't in the picture for destination locations? Find a way to link more strongly the existing channel. So that's the thing is, my idea with destination location was not to link it to us as much. I know on the title it says no commentary travel or travel without commentary by Walter's World. But I wanted to see like what a standalone thing would do. It's kind of like, if you look on like Instagram and things, is a lot of the big Instagram ones, they're not a person. It's actually just a kind of like it's not a facade, but it's kind of like anybody could post from there. Because my thought was eventually that could be a channel where other people could post. So like people in their own towns say, hey, can I promote my town? I'm like, yeah, put together a thing. We could put it on there and get more things out there. So I could kind of make it a standalone, not just me kind of thing. But that is one thing that will probably come in. But I always wonder, do I want to, if I'm not going to be in it and Jocelyn's not going to be in it, we're not going to hear our voices, we're not doing things, do we do that? Do we have our pictures in there? Because people are looking for us and we're not there. So, I mean, I only started in the new videos. I've only started now putting the Walters World logo in the corner, like you see over here in there. So there is that. I'm sure eventually you're right, Eric or Derek. Sorry, Eric posted right before you, Derek. I think I probably will do more stuff. So that will be coming. So we'll see. So I want to check. So I posted on Facebook and Twitter that this is going on, and it got us 3 extra people watching. So thank you for the 3 people that came from Twitter and Facebook. I'm debating if I want to if I put the announcements on YouTube, it would take away from people seeing the new video. But that's the way we got. You got to grow. You got to figure out how to do it. Yeah. So yeah, Liz, I want it to be more of a hub for travel B-roll. So because I know sometimes people just like to I just want to see what it's like there. I just want to see, I don't need the commentary. And back in the day, there was actually quite a few channels that did very well with it. I don't find too many now, but I'm like, I have this content. It's something that I can put together that can give people an idea of what it's like. I mean, part of me is like, I should just title, what it's like being in New York before COVID. And you're like, oh, remember what it was like to see these places, because most of these places are filmed before COVID. But I don't want, you can't say that because you put the word COVID or pandemic and anything, forget it. You're not going to get seen or anything. So there is that.
Yeah.
So
you might want to take your spoon out and put it on this little doohickey. Hi again.
So let's see. So travel Nick P, I know in your travels, Mark, you always got to find an Irish pub for your father wherever you go. Any pubs stand out to you outside of the ones in Ireland, no matter where you go around? There was one I took him to in Rome that I think it's still there.
The one in Rome we've been to several times. And we went back to the one was it Haarlem or Utrecht?
Oh yeah, the one in Haarlem. The one in Haarlem's good.
We've been there like 2 or 3 times.
The one in Haarlem has Irish people. They have Irish people but the food is mostly Dutch. But
they do have
some Irish stuff. And that one I do like, because I always had a good time talking to the staff there.
But the one in Rome, we've been there a lot.
The one in Rome?
Yes.
Yeah, the one that's down by the
black. The outside of it's black or
Yeah.
really, really, really dark green, almost
gotcha.
black.
I gotcha.
We've been to that one several times too.
I've gone to a few with my dad.
Yeah, Bill just needs like burgers and stuff. And I get it. You know what? I mean, like when we were in China for all those many weeks, it was like 8 weeks. I needed to go. We went to Fridays once a week so I could have a salad because I just needed vegetables that weren't cooked. I get it. I mean, there are times where you're just like, I need something from home. And also we went to Pizza Hut a lot because if any of y'all go to China or have been to China, I'm going to tell you, Pizza Hut in China is kind of like, it's like a 4-star restaurant. It's not 5.
It's like a 20-page menu, but only one page is actually pizza. Like they had like steak cooked on stone.
Yeah,
it was
beautiful
amazing.
Steaks. Not quite as good as what we got in Japan, but like dang near. It like really good steaks. That was kind of interesting. Derek he says another thing. Maybe you're doing this. The link for link the destination location post to the Walters World release so you can say at the end of the Walters World video, for more sites of Uruguay, head over to. Yeah, that's a good idea. Mark Finley came home with 22 gigs of video from Hawaii, and now he has to figure out what to do with it.
Amateur. 22 gigs. What?
22
That's like
gigs.
one video.
He's joking.
I'm kidding.
He's joking.
Good job.
Yeah, I wanted to do when we were, my plan for Hawaii was to take a GoPro, and they have these things where you can put it on your car, right? And just drive the road to Hana with that. I really wanted to do that and put it on destination location, but of course we could use some of that B-roll for your videos and whatnot, but that didn't happen because we didn't go to Hawaii.
Yeah, I told him about the
false positive.
The false positive. But we did get permission yesterday from our local health department that we're allowed to leave. That's why we got to do stuff.
We had our friends over who are fully vaccinated that came over last night, and that was fun. So I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that I can get vaccinated soon.
So Eric points out the algorithm. YouTube hasn't shown me your vids, and my feed is all travel. Yeah, I think right now there's so many people now that have become travel vloggers that it's just hard to kind of break through or be seen because YouTube is all about putting new creators out there. Except if you're really big, then they're going to put your stuff out all the time. And we're not big. I mean, we are big, but we're not like crazy big.
I think we would have been had COVID not hit.
We
would have hit the 1 million mark. But whatever, it's fine.
Yeah,
we got our friends and family out of it,
Yeah,
like we got our travel people.
You all, that's
that's what I'm saying. We got our travel family here. That's worth more than $1 million. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So Eric Swire bought my first GoPro and I have a DJI drone. Planning on making travel document style videos of region where I live to start with, long 50-minute doc style videos. I mean, yeah, that'd be cool. And there's some really good ones out there. But I don't know. Like I said, I try to avoid the drone stuff because that's what tourists don't see. But the thing is, for a destination location, drone footage would actually work really well because it's all about just different perspectives of the place. Yeah. So. And for those that complain, I pre-apologize for the drone footage that shows up in the Avion videos. My editor put it in.
Eric says, algorithm, YouTube hasn't shown me your vids and my feed is all either travel or Tesla. You need to watch 3 videos in a row of ours and then it'll show up all the time. That's what's happening.
No, it'll show up all the time for about a week and then it'll go away again. I've seen with our stuff, like people that'll be on the live feeds or come like, oh, it's nice to see you putting videos out again. I'm like, we've never stopped. But they just never see it. And that's why, that's not just us. That's a lot of your subscriptions are like that. What I do recommend is maybe go through the subscriptions you do have. Like, click on subscriptions, but not just where it shows videos. Actually show who you're subscribed to. Right. And you'll see a little dot next to it if they have new stuff since you last watched them. And I guarantee they all do have them because they've been putting stuff up. But what I did, I don't know, a couple months ago, I went through and I deleted... I unsubscribed to a bunch of channels that either don't make videos anymore or hadn't made videos for a long time, or some of them just they got taken down. And so I'm like, oh, so I undid that, and it kind of like reset my YouTube stuff. And so it was like, oh wow, that's kind of cool, and it gave me the people I used to watch a lot. Now I got to see them again. I'm like, oh, I forgot about that because even there's stuff I watch. I'm like, have they put anything out for a while? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. So
Brian says, am I the only one that doesn't want to make videos? I don't. I do it. I don't love it like Mark does. I don't mind doing it, and it's kind of fun, and I'm cooking anyway. Oh, y'all, I made some. So what I really need to do is just have a camera going while I cook our random food. Like the other night, I made this fish, and Caleb literally was like,
"This is the best fish ever.
This is the best fish you've ever made." He's like, "I love this so much," and it was just me playing with spices that I like, and I really should have made a video for that because it's like I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just things that I was smelling things and putting them together and whatever. I should actually that's how I really cook. I mean, that's what I should do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, Eliz said she did a throwback on her Instagram post of days in Shanghai. Lots of food shots.
Yeah, that was good. I like that one with Derek with his soup, the soup dumpling.
Oh, I miss those big old soup dumplings. Not like the 472 that we ate in Vegas with Tanya and Dave. That was Liz and Derek got to see us after that. I was so miserable for a while there. Like my belly.
But it was so good. I don't care.
It was
so
insane.
amazing.
Y'all, I don't eat gluten, and I ate like so many of those things. Oh,
Hey,
it was
so
terrible.
Jennifer Benson, we can't make videos because little curse words always slip in when the little people go running off or stuff gets broken.
Oh,
yes,
don't think that we don't have creative
that's why.
editing.
So that's the thing is making the destination location videos. I have to listen because there's like a F-bomb here and a S word there and a get back here and I'm like okay, or my dad randomly talking about stuff. So.
Do
Yeah.
I have a perfect pancake recipe?
No, she doesn't.
Mark is more. I do okay pancakes. Your waffles blow mine out of the water though. But so honestly, Krusty's pancake mix.
Maybe
Krusty's buttermilk pancake mix.
spend the night sometime. I can make you.
And then
waffles
you
for breakfast.
add a little pinch of salt to it and add vanilla. That's my big thing. They're not super fluffy. Well, they're fluffier than Bisquick. So that would be, there you go.
So Eric Svart says, question about that, because if I click on subscriptions, I always see all videos that come out that day. Or is that because I only subscribe to like 60 channels? Yeah, the fewer channels you subscribe to, the more likely they're going to show most of your stuff. So
None of us are like Mark Finley with 325 channels. Yes, you have a problem.
I subscribe
you need
to
a
a lot.
28-day rehab.
No,
for
hey, but Mark,
YouTube.
honestly, if you pare down, even if you took like 25 out and that you don't watch anymore, it will redo your like main feed, and you'll start seeing a lot of different stuff. You'll be like, oh, I didn't see this is a good video. It's funny. It got me back into seeing some of my things, but then the boys got tired of Netflix. They started watching YouTube. So then I'm like,
Yeah, Caleb was
Minecraft and
watching.
Fortnite.
No, Caleb has been watching old boxing videos on mine.
that was-
And then, what was the other thing? Oh, some of these guys that are just doing funny stuff and like they're kind of ridiculous, spoofy things, And so those are coming up now.
Liz says hi in Vegas after all those dumplings. I think that was the first time Mark might have been low energy while traveling.
No joke. Oh my gosh, that was ridiculous.
Wow.
You guys got us at the worst point because we were just so. I think I was like a little like dumpling drunk or something. Like I kind of felt goofy. It was all the
Yeah,
gluten.
there was. It was. Well, we also were drinking, so.
Andrew has 856 subscriptions. Yo, that's crazy.
That's like having the internet TV. So we have a Roku TV that's just integrated. When you go on Antenna, it gives you all the internet channels. So we have like 600 channels, but it doesn't let you put in like CBS, like 3.1. No, I have to scroll through like 600 if because my dad was here, and yeah, whatever.
He dicked with it.
He dicked with it. So.
Yeah, well, that's okay. It made him happy, and he watched the kids for a week with your mama.
Well,
hang on. Your mom watched the kids. And your dad watched TV.
Yeah, and so we have all our TV stuff's over the internet. So we actually went over our like 1 or 2 terabyte
in February, the shortest month of the year, with kids online. We haven't
with kids online and me uploading stuff. Never had a problem. My dad was here because
we get close sometimes.
He found, was it CNBC or he found Bloomberg?
He found one of the ones where the people yell about the stock market all day.
And so he would
like
he would wake up and leave it on all like back home and would just leave it on all day. Wouldn't even be here, just leave it on. And I'm like, oh, I said something to my mom the other day. I'm like, you guys need to let me leave the light on at night. Oh, I'm like, no, I would get yelled at. Turn off the light.
Oh, Bill's still like that.
Yeah, electricity.
He
I'm
turns
like,
the heat or the air conditioning in the summer. It's like
80.
It's like 80, and our room is
It's
upstairs at their house. And I am not kidding. I mean, like, we're sweating bullets up there.
Yeah, it's close to 90 degrees up there.
Like,
You're
we
just
open the
dying.
windows and turn the fan on because it's cooler outside than it is in our room. Anyway, we should not rip on Bill. I love Bill. He is awesome.
Yes,
And,
but it was funny
to
because
tease
all
him.
the internet, all that was.
Jennifer Benzie says, "Can you rent left side steering wheel cars in America?" So,
No.
no, but you'll find them occasionally. Like,
Wait, left side steering wheel? That's where a steering wheel is.
oh, so you mean right side?
Yeah, you will not be in the U.S. There is zero chance in hell that you will get a UK type car.
In in big cities, occasionally you can find them for like driving on
Oh, but no, I've
those like the what do you call them? You know, like if you the one out in Vegas where you could rent a fancy car.
Yeah, that way. And I have actually
Some of those
seen
have that.
I have seen a couple British cars on the road here that people brought over, but you'd have to.
They're personal.
They're personal.
Usually.
Like Enterprise isn't gonna have them.
And there's a hotel down in Savannah. I think it's called the Mansion on Forsyth, and they have I think 2 of the London cabs. So you could ride in the opposite side ones.
Yeah. So there is a chance but I mean, the chance is so minuscule that I wouldn't want to say anything. Let's see. Mark Finley, my suggested videos are 90% Hawaii right now. Yeah. My videos are still, I'm still getting Las Vegas stuff.
I'm getting
from
a
our
ton
trip.
of Vegas stuff.
Yeah. Excuse me. So I still have a few more Vegas, I got two or three more Vegas videos, but I'm going to wait for those because.
Yeah. People are going there though.
Yeah.
Yeah, postal vehicles are opposite drive too.
That's true. See, Nick will be ready for it when he goes to Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, he should have no issues with that because it's even crazier because he's literally on the wrong side. Yeah. I mean, it's left side or right side, but when your steering wheel is on the right side and you're driving on the right side of the road, you're on the wrong side.
Yeah, true. So, Travel Dick P, how did your mom like the Pringles surprise you ordered when I was there? She was super happy that I got it for her, but then she forgot it in our freezer, so it's still in our freezer. So I got to take it to her.
Yeah.
But they're having housework done now, so we're banned from going to visit for a while because there's nowhere to go. My mom's trying to figure out where to put everything because they're getting like a new floor and.
Yeah,
new floors.
Well, they're working on their ceiling in one room and a floor in
two other rooms. Yeah.
But the last time they did that, we were living here that summer. And you know what happened to poor Kathy? I got in there and I was like, since they had to move all the furniture, I've always really hated that this one hutch you have is against the wall. Can I just move it? And it started a thing. We spent 3 days. We moved literally every stick of furniture in the house except for the bedrooms. And even at that, I changed out all the paintings. I redid her whole house. It was so much fun.
And it looks so much better too.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's cool. It looks good. But I had such a good time with that. Eric B's going to Vegas next week.
There
Woohoo!
you go.
Fun stuff. By the way, you're done with the school semester. Haven't seen marketing videos in a while.
So Eric, Professor Walters, I haven't put any new things out public for Professor Walters, but I did a really big project for the Canadian Embassy, and so I made a whole video series for Canadian companies, and so that's new content that's on Professor Walters, but it's only available to the Canadian companies. It's unlisted, so there have been new stuff, but it hasn't been stuff that's been public. I do have a bunch of stuff to film. For making new Professor Walters videos, which will probably be something I'll be filming in April because I got to get some more stuff because I have a class this summer that's all online. And I have about 20 videos I need to make for that. So there will be some. And then looking at, like I was talking about how doing experimentation and different kind of travel videos here on Destination Location instead of Walters World, I'm also going to be doing some experimentation with Professor Walters in terms of the YouTube Shorts and some other stuff. So there'll be new Professor Walters stuff coming that people actually get to see. But actually, Professor Walters has taken most of my time in January and February this year.
I feel like that's all he's done is business videos.
Yeah,
but
because
it was for Canada.
It's for Canada, so. And that's the thing it's funny.
Cool that you work for the Canadian Embassy, though.
Yes. So if you're a Canadian business and you're looking to go to the United States, contact your local trade commissioner, and they will get you the videos and training booklets and worksheets to help you out. If you are not, sorry, you have to wait until the new book comes out this summer, so then you can get your own. Let's see.
Jennifer said, I'm getting heaps of cocktail videos. I'm thanking Jocelyn for that right now. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying. I know you always comment, and I appreciate that so much that you're watching them and stuff. I am going down next month to Sandra's, and so we're going to film a bunch together in Savannah. We were talking about doing she has a lovely little side yard, and The azaleas will probably be done blooming, but the wisteria will hopefully be done blooming. So we might do a few outside in front of the beautiful purple wisteria she's got. And then we'll probably do some we rent this one apartment. We've rented it a couple times now. And so we'll do some there. I don't know. It'd be nice to do a couple like lemonade type ones on Sandra's front porch. She's got one of those big old like true Southern rocking chair porches. I think she could put about 20 some rocking chairs on her porch.
Yeah.
So we'll be making a bunch more down there. I'm really looking forward to it.
So Liz says, we stopped at an outlet mall in Vegas for lunch last week. Shake Shack, browsed the store quickly, and I liked shopping there a lot more than shopping on the strip because it felt much more chill. Yes, I agree 100%.
I went to Vegas and didn't... Oh, well, no, wait. We went to Crate and Barrel out toward Red Rocks. I did not do any shopping whatsoever in Vegas.
Well, we went to places.
We bought the kids T-shirts, and that was it. We bought each of the kids a T-shirt. We got Caleb one of the Golden Knights things. That was really cool. And we got Liam one from the container park. I agree. We went out to it was just like a regular outdoor mall, right? And I went to Crate and Barrel because I wanted these new glasses, and I'm really particular about glasses. So I had to feel them. I had to look at them and see them. So then I decided to order them. Anyway.
Eric's
You're going to be in our drinking gang. Yes, cheers to that, sister. You got a drip?
I got a drip left for Jen. No problem. So Eric's Fire, Professor Walter's channel, and going up in views as well. I recommend it to many people that want to start a business or something for themselves. I will say, subscribers for Professor Walters have gone up, and views have gone up, even though I haven't been putting out new videos for other people. So it's nice to see. That's why I really need to kind of start putting new content out for that to drive some more interaction and stuff. But yeah, it's because I think we're at 11,000 subscribers now. So it's definitely picking up. I just need to make the content. That's why, getting all these extra Walter's World videos and destination located videos already made, just upload them. They won't do as well because, as I understand, if you upload too early, YouTube doesn't like that. They like it like within like 6 to 8 hours beforehand or closer for those. But I need to focus on this other stuff, so I'm just going to get those done and kind of walk away for a bit and focus on making the business videos and the travel class, and then come back in May with more okay, I just made this video, let's do this. So it'll be an interesting time.
Yep. Mark Finley says, I've got to figure out how to make malasadas in Texas. Those things were amazing.
They're little donut kind of things from Hawaii.
Nice.
They look amazing.
Yeah. We don't know.
I wish we would have gone.
We don't know, Mark. We just don't know.
I know.
Nick P says, is there excitement around the university with the men's basketball team in the big dance?
Yes, there is. The U of
the
I.
Whole damn town's
the whole
blue
damn
and
town.
orange,
Yeah.
except
U
for
of
me.
I. U of I is you only wear black.
I just
anyway.
wear black.
So when they won the Big Ten title, people were they went out on the streets on campus and were cheering, and they're doing a lot of virtual events for all the games. So if you want to sign up, you can watch virtually with other people. So that's nice. They had some giveaways, but they still sent out a thing for students saying, hey, though we're playing basketball, you still need to make sure we're following our safety. Stay safe. So there is that. Our
neighbor played for U of I, and he and his wife, she played basketball too, but he played professionally in Europe for a long time. But they were by the other day, and they were both pretty jazzed. It was cool to see.
So Ronnie Dove has them making to the Elite Eight. Do you have them losing to Oklahoma State? Because all I know is Ohio State was number 2 that went out yesterday. But the consensus is that if there's going to be a number 1 upset, it's going to be Chicago Loyola is going to beat Illinois tomorrow.
Please God, don't let that happen.
Because they have one of the best defenses.
That's gonna be ugly if it happens.
Yeah.
I don't want that to happen.
I don't
Nick Barnett, nice to see you.
What's up, buddy? Mr. Cabo himself. So Eric's. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, Global Nico is Nick's new channel. If you guys don't already know that, he's doing that. Did
cool.
you not put all that together? Oh, Nick and I have been talking about that for a while, so
It makes sense now. I'm like, I'm following this Global Nico, but I don't know who this is. And then I realized it. Now I realize it makes sense now.
Okay.
Now I understand. See, things switch around so much.
Well, asadas are supposed to be Portuguese fried dough. A Portuguese person might have said that. I mean, I never had that or heard of that in Portuguese. Portugal.
We don't. No.
I wonder if it's Brazilian.
Well,
you would know that.
Yeah, but it's. Well, I've seen the fried dough stuff before, but fried dough is everywhere. It would be a Portuguese thing, not a Brazilian thing, come from there. But it's not something you eat in Portugal.
Yeah, I've never heard of those.
I mean, I'm sure there's Portuguese people that have it and they'd complain about that, but it's not a typical thing you see.
Thomas Reiser, ILL, I. Mary Ellen Dillon says, my sister played at University of Illinois on the women's wheelchair basketball team back in the day.
Nice. U of I is one of the best, most accessible campuses in the country, and our wheelchair teams have been probably. Yeah, and our wheelchair teams have been awesome. Actually, one of my students
was Olympic, right?
Yeah, she played. I have a couple. She was on the Olympic team, wheelchair basketball. Yeah. They gold medal the last Olympics.
Yeah, you've had several people who were Olympians. Wheelchair Olympians.
So Eric asks, do you think YouTube sees your other channels and considers showing that content to others? What it would be is if other people that watch Walter's World videos watch Professor Walter's videos, then it will suggest to Walter's World viewers that, oh, other Walter's World viewers watch this channel as well, and then it would be shown to them.
Hey, Nick, guess what? I just had Vlita tea. Isn't that exciting? You can get Vlita tea in America.
Or in Mary Ellen. So let's see. What are some other fun stuff? So to see how little the YouTube community tab actually goes out and the Facebook reach is so I've posted that we're doing this on Facebook, Twitter, and the Walter's World
YouTube
community tab, and we're up to 30. Hey, 30 viewers. So it's been 8 more that have come from.
Well, but we've gotten.
But Mary Ellen came.
And Nick is just joined too.
So Mary Ellen, did you find out about?
Oh, and Lori's on now. Hey,
how did y'all find out we were live on this one? Was it from the announcements on? Yeah, let us know. Like, did you get it from the Facebook group, the Patreon thing, the community tab for members only, for the thing I just posted of it just now? Let me know.
Lori points out, good morning, happy first day of spring, and praise God, we have got a beautiful first day of spring here. The last week has been freaking gray and windy. Like we had ice, and the wind was still over 30, but the wind was so bad it was icing onto our windows. And there was like stuff blowing, and I'm like, what is that? Is it snowing? And Mark's like, no, it's the ice flying off the house and the trees. And it was ugly. Yeah. Brian says Patreon. Andrew says Patreon.
Oh, Jennifer, I've tried to watch all your videos, but every so often I'll find a wee gold gem, a video I haven't seen yet. Yeah, it is fun when you have like a channel you really like, and you're like, oh, I didn't know. I hadn't seen that one. And you're like, oh, you're like upset. I'm like, how did I miss this one?
I love to go back and find our old ones. Like I remember when we filmed this, that, or the other, and then I get to go back and watch my kids as babies, little tiny things. Oh, hurts my heart.
So Eric is asking, Norwegian mustard. A person mentioned an amazing mustard from Norway or Sweden. Anyone know of what this might be? I don't remember. I can't say.
Nick asks, Spam's big in Hawaii. Have you ever had it, Mark and Jocelyn? I've had Spam here in the States when I was a kid. Spam sandwiches. And they fried it like bologna. That was like you just sliced off a piece, fried it like you would fry bologna, and put it on. And I think we had mustard on it. It's fine. It's not my jam, but it's okay.
Oh, Vlita?
Vlita.
Is that
Where's Nick talking about Vlita?
Basically, since last time I was in Greece almost 2 years ago. That's another cheese, maybe?
No, Vlita is a kind of horta. Greens.
That's one of Jocelyn's testers. When we go to Greek restaurants, she'll have the horta and see if it's any good. Like, then it's good. It's funny. It's like that's
most of the time they don't even have horta on the menu.
I know. There's always times when you're like, they've got the octopus. Okay, you're respectable. Yeah.
Horta for y'all is just basically it's a category of just greens in general, right? Like collard greens and whatever. Vlita, it's dandelion greens, right? And yeah, every now and then we'll get some really good dandelions in our yard, and I will take them out of my yard and I will cut them up, really clean them and cut them up and put them in my salad, because you should. Actually, dandelion greens are really good for you.
Yes, she also talking about planting dandelions. If you don't need to plant, they'll be there.
I don't.
Hey, Matt Healer of
them.
Windhurst, good to have you.
I could go to my neighbor's. My neighbor's yard is literally only dandelions. Like, only dandelions.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Eric, only 18 summers with our kids. It goes fast. Yes, it does. That's what's sad about missing
we only have 4 more.
Yeah, with Caleb. Yeah, that's what's sad about, like, you know, my brother was talking to my mom, and he's like, you know, he's a surgeon, so he's very technical. It's like, you know, you only have so much time left, and people. So you're like, you know, he's like, go out and do stuff, because they're vaccinated. So he's like, just go do stuff, because, you know, like, how many years? I mean, it's 1 summer was gone, but now you're looking at 2 summers gone. That's a lot of time. I mean, that's 20% of Liam's life. That's, you know, 5% of my life is, you know, gone from this kind of stuff. And so that's why it's you know, it's like you really need to go back and really look and say, hey, you know what? That's one thing that's driving us to travel is like, look, let's go and explore, because we've been home. We're doing what we're supposed to do. We can do this safely. Let's not lose another year. And so we've been really looking at ways to travel better.
Kim M says, in general, is it better to join Patreon or as YouTube member? What are the pros and cons, or does it matter?
Which one?
Kim.
Okay, so Kim, so with Patreon, I can send you at different levels of Patreon. We can actually you get like awards. So like I can send you like postcards, or I can send you like beer koozies or stickers or different stuff. Whereas on YouTube, you're not allowed to do that. It's just a straight, like, you get different stuff.
There will be certain videos that are only for our members and patrons and stuff.
Yeah, and the thing is people do both. So we have the same kind of, like, that's why we do these live feeds for fans once a month, and or not for
our superheroes.
For superheroes, yeah. So we have a Facebook group that's for both of them, because I want everyone to get kind of the same thing. So there is that.
The one thing that is kind of nice when you're a YouTube member, I can see your name comes up a different color in the chat. That's one thing that I like from my end. But, you know, Patreon lets us give you more than YouTube allows us to give you. And the superheroes group on Facebook is big to me. Like, it's just a community of people who have built friendships amongst themselves. And I don't get on Facebook all that often, but when I do, there's always lively stuff happening between people. It's a very positive place. You know, everybody subscribes to our ideal of not talking about politics and things like that. It's just, you know, everybody's talking about travel and sharing things together. It's really great.
Oh, Maryland, next Saturday I'll be 1 hour from my first dose of the vaccine. Very cool, very cool.
Cool.
There was one up here I missed. Oh, so Kim, in terms of if you're looking to support creators, you're probably Patreon. The creator gets more of the money than as a YouTube member. So there is that, and you get a bit more out of it. But it depends. Like, other channels do different stuff. That's why we try to make it as equitable as possible between the two of them. But, like, for those you wonder why you can't join this, so you can only have memberships. They just changed it. Memberships start at 1,000 subscribers, so you have to be monetized to do it. This channel only has 300 subscribers and 400 hours of watch time, and you need to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time in order to monetize. So we still have some time here. What's up, Wolfgang? Awesome, Wolfgang. Glad you got your vaccines. Go get some traveling in there. Good to see my friend. Morning, Lori.
That's cool. Very exciting.
Let's see.
Nick says, I thought of starting a Patreon, but waiting to see where my YouTube channel is by the summer. Won't do it if it hasn't grown by then. Yeah, it's good to kind of feel it out, you know, and figure out where you're going.
Yeah, and some places have done very well with Patreon. Some, you know, just it's a little bit extra. I mean, it helps. I mean, it does help with the channel. So that's why we always say thank you to our members and our patrons, because y'all like really do help out. So thank you with that. Yeah, Mark Finley. The Facebook group is an oasis of kindness. Yeah, that's the thing is we want this to be enjoyable for all, and travel is something we all do, and so we focus on that.
We're positive people, and we want to foster. I mean, this world really right now needs a lot of kindness and things. So
if we can do that,
yeah,
we're glad we can.
Well, we can bring other people together. We've just made a vehicle for that, and we're happy to do it.
Yeah, so Travel Nick P. I miss those black and white Sundays. Yeah, we have a place nearby that does custard, and they have cold fudge and marshmallow fluff. What do you call it?
It's marshmallow.
Well, it's not
fluff.
the fluff.
It's not. Theirs is like marshmallow syrup.
Yeah.
It's so good. Speaking of black and whites, there's a place in town, and I got some fish yesterday. They ship it in from Chicago. So I got my fish, and lo and behold, at the front counter, they had black and whites, like the cookies from New York. And I know about them, but I've never had one. OMG. Y'all, if you haven't had a black and white, you need to get a black and white cookie. Those things, it's almost like a layer of sponge cake, like a really, really thin sponge cookie. I don't know how to describe that.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be a biscotti, but it's super soft.
It's so soft.
It's not like angel food cake, but it's like,
and it's royal icing on top, and the white royal icing is a little bit crispy, right? Like royal icing gets, but the black, the chocolate, and I don't even know if it's chocolate. It literally melts in your mouth. Oh my gosh, so stinking good. Can't wait to go to New York and have one. Mm-hmm. It was incredible.
So Matt Hillman is Mark and Jocelyn. Can you go to Italy this summer? So we were talking about this a bit earlier, but with the postponement and delay of vaccinations in Italy, I don't know if Italy's going to be on the board for anybody this summer outside of Europeans. Whereas 3 weeks ago, I was still super confident we'd be there. Now it looks like it might be a fall thing.
Yeah, our friends actually put off their wedding again.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah. Which really sucks. But, hey, gives us more reason to go see him next year. And go see him this year.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard. I don't know how people are doing it when they have family, abroad. But we have so many really close friends. Mark's Brazilian mother passed away last week. And it was hard. I mean, we were all just sobbing, and that we can't. There isn't even the possibility. It might have been hard to do before, like to get Mark a last minute ticket to Sao Paulo or something would have been difficult. But we could have done it. And Sao Paulo's it was in utter lockdown when she passed. And like we physically can't do it. And
there's so many families that have not been able to be with them. I mean, it's heartbreaking.
It was really rough.
Yeah. So, on the happier things, thank you, Jennifer. You guys are 100% the embodiment of the Be Kind movement. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Liz says, black and white cookies are so yummy, but make sure you get them at a place like Essa and not just Starbucks so they're more fresh. Yeah.
I would never think to get them at Starbucks.
I've had it at Starbucks and the Barnes & Noble Cafe, and they're like biscotti. That's why I thought it was going to be biscotti, because it was like old. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I would.
Thank you, Mary Ellen.
So there is a place that's pretty famous for them, like a deli.
Bye, Matt Healer. Good job.
I don't.
Shopping.
Maybe that's what you're talking about, but I don't know that much about it. So I do know they are just tasty.
So Mark Finley brings up a good question. Do you think the ability to cancel airline tickets for credit is here for good, or is that going away soon? I think once people are back traveling just to travel, I think that's going to go away. I think it's going to go back because that's too much of an easy moneymaker. Like,
it's gonna kill them financially. I think.
No, I don't know because they have the money. They have the money. It's like the suitcase fees. Like they used to not charge, but now why would I give that money away? That's free money to make people pay for their luggage. Like ha ha ha. And so I could definitely see, especially airlines that are notorious for like overcharging you or not giving you, like Ryanair. There's no way they're not gonna let you switch. They're gonna be there jerky sells, So that's one thing that'll come back sadly.
Mad Healer, enjoy your grocery shopping. Liz, thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it. Nick says, it's been tough having much of my family in Greece while being trapped in the U.S. during the pandemic. and we're just grateful nobody really close has died or anything since we couldn't go be with them. You know, so Caleb's Nuna, I referred to her earlier as my cousin because she's Kumbada. So in Greek we have family without the blood, but they're still your family. So that's what Caleb's godmother is to us, just forever. Anyway, her whole family lives there, but she's really grateful to be here because it's been so tough for them. They've, not leaving their towns and just, I mean, like they're on such. She's like, I feel so free compared to what my parents are going through and my sister and brother. It's crazy.
So Nick Barnes, and the airlines are going to look for ways to make back losses, so they're probably going to do away with that and find even more ways to charge. Yeah, and if you notice, they started having the super discount tickets, right? But the thing is, those super discount tickets are now probably going to creep up to the normal ticket prices. The ticket price will go up more. I'm going to guess you're going to have a honeymoon period when people start traveling again. They're going to be really nice, but those things are going to eventually turn around. Like, it's kind of like how Delta is. You can be all you want, but you're never going to get upgraded to Delta One, no matter what status you are, unless you're Diamond or something like that.
You have to be Diamond and spend $100,000 a year.
$250,000 a year.
Oh, $250,000 a year.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen ever. And so I'm gonna guess it'll be like, okay, then it'll be like, oh no, first class upgrades on domestic and no business class upgrade just to Comfort Plus. It's gonna be different eventually when things come back, and there's no nice ways to really say it. So. So let's see. Andrew says, I have multiple times this pandemic changed a flight for just the fare difference and actually paid the airline more when I never would have paid the extra before. Yeah. Yep. These things happen. It sucks, man. Eric, airlines, they are also not making very good deals with airlines miles domestically or internationally, even though the planes are not anywhere close to full. Yeah, there are some. Like, I know there are still deals. I know Mark Finley got a deal for miles to like New York and stuff. And what you're seeing is if you sign up for the deals from the airlines, they'll have like, hey, we got some deals from Indianapolis to these 3 locations for this coming up weekend, and you can get these last minute things there for that. So there are some deals. Based on waiting until I get my second vaccine, then I'm going to start taking up some of those because the kids aren't going to get vaccinated anytime soon because they're nowhere near kids' vaccination stuff. So basically it's going to be me or her going on trips to film to make more videos and stuff.
Wolfgang's World says, have you heard anything about vaccine cards being accepted for entry? Not as of yet. Most places are requiring you to test before you leave and test upon arrival. And whether or not you have the vaccine, your test is what they're looking at. But there are vaccine cards. People have been, this is something I keep saying, everybody's freaking out about, vaccine passports, whatever. We already have them.
If you go to like a certain place in Africa and South America, in Asia, you had to have them anyway. And we have them. It's just, and this kind of goes to Nick P's question. Do you think the vaccine passport will be different than the CDC card they give us when we get shots? Yes, it will be different because they're going to have a standardized form. Probably what will be is, how like for Hawaii, we had to upload our negative tests and then it has to be from an approved thing. So it'll probably be like, you have to upload your CDC card showing which shot it was, when it was, and that goes in the system.
And when the expiration date is.
Yeah, if they have, we don't know. And so it's, there's going to be.
Well, that's how they are for other vaccines.
There's going to be stuff you're going to have to do because the CDC cards, anybody can fake that. They want to make sure that it's all legit. So.
Yeah, and ours have stamps on them and their signatures and things like that, but yeah,
so, and also if you are getting you're doing your things, if you have the yellow vaccination book for international travel, the CDC book that is accepted worldwide, also take that with you because they will stamp your CDC card and then get that yellow card so the vaccination's in there as well for the proof, so you have that.
Nick says, I have a few flights booked with Delta in the coming months, hoping that I'll at least get upgraded to Comfort Plus. So we usually, Mark and I are platinum and the kids are silver, sometimes gold. I only got to gold because we missed travel and stuff, whatever. So I only got to gold, and the kids are at silver, and that's all frozen right now. So our status is staying the same, and we were upgraded to either business or first or Comfort Plus on all of our flights to and from Vegas.
Yeah, we were. But on our flights to Hawaii, we did not get any upgrades.
The Hawaii flights though were funky. The seating looked funky to me in comparison to
it's because
all the other flights.
They had the mid row,
I guess. Yeah.
But we didn't get any.
But that's rare for us. We usually get Comfort Plus even to Europe. For all four of us. But what we have to do, so when you this is for all of you who have specifically Delta, and you have status. So there are four of us, and each of us can have our upgrade, and one person flying with us upgraded. But if we all four buy our tickets together, and say Mark bought the tickets on his card, and so all four of us are on Mark's thing, we don't get upgraded. So what we do is we call the 800, the customer service line, and we say, split our tickets. So Mark and Liam will go, and then Caleb and I will go. So I'm eligible for an upgrade at my gold or platinum status, and I can take one person with me who is Caleb. But what we do is we say, split them, and then please link them back together. So we're split, so it's me and Caleb and Mark and Liam, but we're linked together as traveling as four people. So we still get the upgrades, but we don't they won't separate us. We won't be all over the plane from one another.
It won't be like, you two have to take the next flight.
Yeah.
They'll keep you together in your group. So Marianne, where do you get the vaccine passports like yours? If you go to your local health department, they'll have it, or when you call up to get wherever you get your vaccination, call and ask them to have one for you. If you call up your local doctor, they know what vaccinations you have. They can get you one. So there is that. A few questions in terms of Matt Healer of Windhurst. Is anyone else worried about testing positive just before a flight? I'm referring to having to supply negative COVID-19 test 3 days before a flight. Yes, our 9-year-old tested positive for COVID, and the day before we were supposed to go to Hawaii, and so we did not go to Hawaii.
And we had him tested the next day, and he was
negative,
negative,
but it
and then
didn't
we
matter.
waited a week, and we had him tested again. He's been tested several times, and he's been negative, so we're sure it was a false positive.
But false positive counts as a real positive, so we couldn't go.
Yeah, so we weren't, and also we just weren't going to take the chance that, what if it was, and what if the others were the ones that were wrong. So, although that was highly unlikely since all of us were negative, and he doesn't go anywhere without us, really.
Yeah, so, Derek from Mr. Means of Travel. I just saw headlines saying the international fans won't be admitted to the Tokyo Olympics. Kind of nuts, but understandable. Will be a very different experience, just like everything else. Yes. I never expected fans to go to Japan. They were never. I'm
shocked that it's happening.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing: is now that they've said that there'll be no international fans, it will happen. Because I thought if they were trying to get fans, it's not going to happen. But this is one of those, we're having it, because they spent billions, so they're at least going to have the Olympics, so they can at least get the TV revenue or whatever. Or because the thing is you have cities like Barcelona. See, the idea of the Olympics for the cities to host it is the boom of tourism. And the city that got the biggest boom ever from tourism from the Olympics was Barcelona. People think of Barcelona as a beach town. Barcelona didn't have beaches. They actually built the beaches for the Olympics, and they've grown it since then. And Barcelona turned itself into a world city by being on display for the Olympics. But the thing is most cities that do the Olympics end up like Montreal, which are like still paying off the Montreal Olympics from 44 years ago, and then there's, Atlanta didn't get much out of it. They got, some infrastructure stuff. Athens, all these white elephant projects. It's not really a boom that it is. That's why you're not seeing a lot of country like Beijing is having the Winter Olympics in 2 years, I think, or next year. Next year, they have the Winter Olympics coming. Beijing, because no one else wants to. Like, no, we're good. Yeah, Beijing. Well, it's going to be Beijing and then up in the mountains somewhere. But there's no one's going for it. Like, countries are pulling out because I don't want to spend the money. It's too expensive to do it, and you're not.
And look at what Japan's losing. I mean, can you imagine by not having international fans?
Yeah, billions.
That's
not millions, billions.
Lots
of
billions. Like it's incredible to me, like unbelievable.
Yeah, so you're hoping that there'll be a lot of the, let's show you Japan while we're in Tokyo, while we're doing the Olympics, because it's kind of like the Lord of the Rings effect and how it really helped, New Zealand tourism, because people are like, this is so beautiful, I want to go, and so you have that. Let's see, Josh Parks, do you think a long-term decline in business travel whose volumes subsidize personal travel will cause personal travel to be more expensive in the future? Yes. I think there'll be two things. Since business travel won't be there to subsidize us, our ticket prices will go up.
Hey, Carmen.
However, I think the fact that now, since business travel isn't as important, they're going to start treating the like tourism travelers like us better. So you won't be as like the schluff on the end. You'll be like maybe treated a bit better.
Andrew said that Montreal paid off the Olympic debt back in 2006.
Oh, finally!
But still, like,
yeah.
I mean, that's
how's that
right?
Olympic Stadium doing? Yeah, no, I mean, think about 2006. So it took them 30 years after the Olympics to pay it off. I mean, when you talk about definition of cities getting screwed over, Montreal is one of the ones that comes up quite often.
Oh, Michael, that's kind of you. Thank you. He says, you're both so great. Thank you for sharing part of your lives with us. We appreciate y'all sharing your lives with us, too, because this has become, I talk about it all the time. I love this little community, and I appreciate y'all. So,
Hey, Ryan. Good to see you, buddy.
Oh, my gosh. Jennifer said some offshore worker tested positive over here, so he wasn't allowed to go back offshore. So he went around out at night spreading the virus, and that's how Aberdeen got put on shutdown.
See, that's the thing.
Bastard.
And that's the thing. It's like
if you know you're sick.
Yeah, like ours. With ours, we were negative, and Liam was positive. We still were quarantining and not going out and filling out the forms and doing what we're supposed to. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
Travel Nick P. The Vancouver Olympic torch was very cool. Yes, the Vancouver. I did some videos by it. It actually is a really cool thing. Like the thing is sometimes you can get it where the cauldron is like becomes a tourist attraction in and of itself, like in Vancouver, and that's kind of cool. Whereas Atlanta, you kind of see on the side of the highway. You're like, oh hey, there it is.
Carmen said, I heard the question regarding Patreon versus YouTube membership. I was issued a new credit card. I'm wondering if I should re-up my Patreon or just contribute more to YouTube. Please tell me your preference. I don't think it really makes a difference to us, does it?
Patreon. What if you're going to donate $5 a month? We'll get more of that $5 a month on Patreon than we will from YouTube.
YouTube likes to take a lot.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm not just talking about that. I mean, like our sanity. Yeah. Sometimes the things happen, and you're like, what? Anyway, whatever. I'm glad for the outlet. So.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, Delta. Well, Delta only has its middle seat through April. After that, it's back to full on seats.
Yeah, right. April 1st.
May 1st.
Oh, May 1st.
They extended it through April.
I'm not really excited about that because it was really nice having empty middle seats. But I have to say, everything was full on all of our flights minus the middle seats, right? I mean, didn't we? Even our flight from Bloomington to Atlanta was full.
Well, yes, full, but there's
minus the middle seats. No,
well, there's only it's 1 and 2. Yeah. Oh no, it's 2 and 2 in the back. You're right.
Yeah, it's 2 and 2 in the back. We just got up front.
So Matt Hill of Lyndhurst, this summer I'm traveling by train. Something to think about, everyone, if you're worried about flying. P.S. I don't trust. Yeah, there's some more issues there.
Kim says, always remember Lillehammer, Norway Olympics. It made me want to go to Norway.
Yeah, that was good. They did that, and that's the thing is it's kind of like how the Olympics and the World Cup really hurt Brazil because I like to call them hit pieces. How much they just talked about the crime in Rio and how dangerous it was, and they really focused on all the negative about Brazil. That's why I ended up going there before the Olympics in 2006 or
to explain how
16
to avoid it.
Yeah, in 16 to watch because I was so pissed about how much they were bad mouthing Brazil, and you're like, well, this person got. I'm like, yeah, you're walking around with like $1,000 watch. Like, do some research because the locals will tell you don't walk around with that in Rio.
Well, and there are people who are desperately poor
Yeah.
Desperately poor.
And walking around with a $10,000 bike and you're flaunting the. I mean, not saying that gives the excuse for me to rob.
No, it doesn't. But do you really need to rub salt in someone's wounds either? I mean, that's my take on it.
And my thing is there's the not the same things, but athletes have been robbed and mugged in other countries too. And then you had the swimmer who lied about. He's basically told his mom he got mugged.
Right.
And basically, I mean, I'm going to guess what he was doing is like, I lost my phone or whatever. I just tell my mom so she, shuts up or something.
And it
became again on the news, and then that cost that dude millions in endorsements. Brazil, people still talking. Well, that's something like he lied, and I obviously I get pissed off at this guy like Brazil, but I'm not gonna lie. Brazil does have issues.
Yeah.
It does, but it wasn't as bad as that's why you can see my Brazil videos. I'll talk about because you're gonna get robbed and you're gonna get killed and you're gonna get Zika and you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that, and you're gonna get this, and I'm like, I was so upset, and because they got the worst treatment possible
by the media.
It was unbelievable. It was horrible.
Excuse my language. Yeah, that was really bad. Things getting blown out of proportion. But we do talk about that a lot anywhere in the world, just to be more demure in your dress and your choice of things. I mean, if you're going to a wedding, that's one thing. But if you're just out walking the streets, like particularly Americans, because Americans do like really big engagement rings by and large, in comparison to the rest of the world. I mean, most countries don't do engagement rings at all, or they have just a simple band. There's not like a 2-carat stone on everyone's hand, right? So leave it at home. You really just don't need to do that. It makes you a target for unsavory people because they see that as easy pickings, right? Just slide it off your hand and go. Mm-hmm. So we talk about that a lot, but my other thing is, for me personally, when we're in places where people don't have enough to eat, they don't have adequate sanitary conditions or housing and things like that, who the hell am I to stand there, head to toe, glittering in whatever? Not that I ever glitter in anything, but you know what I mean. Like I just feel that's it's not very empathetic. It's
it's not empathetic, but also, I mean, it's one of those things you're putting yourself in danger. Just like if you walked around waving money around here, in the U.S., someone might come up and rob you because, like, dude, you're making it too easy for me. Anyway.
Yeah, I just want people to be thoughtful of others.
So Marianne says, I don't wear a lot of jewelry, but just take basics when traveling. Yeah. We're not saying take anything.
Well, and if I take jewelry, it's usually from Target. Like, even that's Anyway.
So Eric says, I always love when the locals start speaking their native language to me. Make me think I look like a local. Didn't happen in India though. Yeah, where it is true. Like when I'll get that any Northern European stuff, they'll just come and talk, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't speak Swedish. They're like, that's not possible. I'm like, I know, sorry. German I can do, but not Swedish. It's funny. It was funny when I lived in Finland. The Finns all thought I was a Swedish person that had come to visit, but when I was in Sweden, they were like, "Oh, you're Finnish that was here." So they're like, "You're not one of us, but you look like one of our neighbor cousin people." So that was kind of funny. Let's see. I don't know. We've been on for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you all hopping on this morning.
Eric, I want to point this out. This is brilliant, and I think it's awesome. Eric said, I always love when the locals start speaking their native language to me.
Just said that.
Oh, you did? I wasn't paying
But
attention.
go on, because you really like this, so you say it too.
I do. Makes me think I look like a local. That's always my goal, is for locals to ask me for directions. And when they do, I'm like, yeah! I get very excited. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Lori was saying, speaking of bling, did you see the daytime robbery of the person's expensive watch shooting people in the process while people were eating lunch? Well, yeah, there's the what was it in San Francisco? They were the news crew got robbed while they were filming. I mean, where I am here, I remember my first year here at U of I, they were robbing people at the outdoor cafe, just taking
just walking by,
taking the iPad, showing a gun. You're not going to do anything, and they'd go off and they'd steal from the students and the union. Like, there got to be a thing that they had to put cops out there because people would come in where students were studying. They just grab the computer and run off. So yeah, just don't be stupid when you travel. Watch your butt. Yeah.
And as Jennifer says, with COVID, times are especially hard, and it's true. There are a lot more people in need. So yeah, we should be cognizant of that.
Mm-hmm. So Nick Barnes, I love when they do that in Greece, and then I join in speaking Greek with them, and they're all shocked because for some reason nobody in Greece thinks I look Greek. Yeah, so I'll get that with Spanish sometimes, and I'll like jump in like some of my students. I'll start speaking Spanish with them because they're in a group, and I'm like, oh no, they're like, the hell? Or like when I have like Italian students coming in, I'll just start talking Italian to them, or the German students, and they're like, what? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't look like any of those. You look German. You could obviously you could pass for some kind of German. But what's great is when we're in like Spanish speaking countries and they start speaking to me. They look at me and they're like, and I'll look at Mark and I was like, can you tell them blah blah blah, because I understand what they're saying, but I can't speak it. And so then he's like, rattling off perfectly. And they look at me and they look at him and they're like, what in God's name is going on with these people? That's always good. I enjoy that. Anyway.
All right. So we'll sign off for today. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate all the love and support, and thanks for coming on to Destination Location. Hope you'll subscribe and like and watch some of the videos. And so coming up videos the next couple weeks, you're going to be getting more from Slovenia, Uruguay, Avignon in France, Nice in France. What else do I have coming out?
I don't know, but Darian is doing a live at noon Central Time today, and I think he's in Orlando right now,
he is
right?
In Orlando, yeah.
So y'all can tune in for that. Noon Central would be 1 Eastern, whatever. I did math. I'm tired. Anyway, oh yes, Jennifer Benzie. Yes, it's a good idea. Yeah, it's a good idea to learn how to say slowly, please.
More
Siga,
slowly.
siga.